when we met a couple months ago at Syn Biobeta conference, you mentioned a really funny story about the bringing some of the samples to and from the space. And I was wondering if you can share that, because it was a fascinating story that a lot of people don't appreciate until they start dealing with that type of technology.
Yeah, probably it's been that lost bioreactor story. That was actually not doing Yuri, but it was still doing Airbus times, And there once we had a mission where, export control dealing with like high-tech cross-border, from Europe to the US and then to space and back is always a challenge. Especially, if we talk about hardware, software, you very often come into this typical ITAR, dual use discussion, which we don't have, but people ask that question, right? So they always kind of look at it more closely than if you, take whatever over the border. And typically we work with a carnet. That means you have a document saying, hey, I bring this to the US, but when I leave the US, I also have everything with me to bring it back, right? But this time, one of the astronauts forgot one of our bioreactors on the International Space Station. So we didn't have everything back. So that's the first part, which is really funny, right? You tell the kind of border control, I don't have it because it's currently in space and the astronaut forgot to bring it back. It even became worse because then the astronaut actually took it back to Russia with another capsule that happened to land in Russia, right? So now you have to tell them, hey, it's not here, it's in Russia. And by the way, it went over space. So this is that was, many years ago, I think like 7 or 8 years ago, but still a funny example of how space to Earth logistics can have their challenges.